Hello everyone, this is Crift you're listening to and you're watching my first video. Thank you for that, and in this video I hope I can be of help. We'll be taking a look at the Elementalist, which stats, traits and combos and playstyles even you can use to optimize your character in PvP. First we'll be taking a quick look at the stats. What did they change? The Elementalist in the previous beta, the first beta, the open public beta, the Elementalist was pretty weak. It didn't have enough survivability, but what they did is they gave it another necklace. And they did this with a lot of classes, including the Guardian. The Guardian, it lost a lot of HP, but you can get it all back by getting to the necklace vendor and buy a new one. You can buy the one with Vitality Toughness. It makes your character a whole lot different. The primal stat of an Elementalist is power. You want to blow people up, but you gotta make sure that you don't lack on other areas. In the footage I got stored up for you, I chose a Soldier's Amulet, which increases your power, but also increases your vitality and toughness, which makes you survive more blows and will still let you deal devastating damage. First we're going to take a look at the skills. Which one are we going to use before we go and spec into something? To spec into a certain trait requires you to fully understand those skills and which are your capabilities. Now my preference in PvP is the staff. It allows you a lot of survivability, a lot of kiting, a lot of CC and some ability. For this video I made a little table about all the skills an Elementalist will use with the staff, and also it sums up the crowd control of those abilities and the mobility. The Elementalist has a double amount of abilities than other classes, but also double the cooldown. But if you go in combat without having anything on cooldown, you're going to have double amount of skills to use. Now, there's a lot of crowd control and a lot of mobility available for the Elementalist. There's a total of 6 crowd control abilities and 2 mobility abilities. As you will take a look later at the elite skills and at other skills that you can add, I chose for more mobility skills because you're kind of lacking on this area. The fire element will be used for mainly DPS. 4 out of 5 of these skills are used for purely bursting down your opponent, while only 1 is for mobility. If you take a look at water, 3 out of 5 skills are going to heal you and your allies. So if you place one of those zones on the ground, it's a very good skill to use. It gives you an extra edge on your opponent. While in air, it's all about utility. You can crowd control, you can blind, you can stun, you can even give your allies mobility by giving them speed if you use the Wineborn speed skill. Now if you go and take a look at the earth, I found it quite diverse. What that means is you can use it to damage, you can also use it to crowd control, you can use it to mostly defend yourself. Magnetic aura is a very good ability to use, and yeah, this is going to be your more of a defensive kind of element. For skill combos, I can't really tell you what's right or wrong, it's all situation dependent, but I like to get my enemies in one place, even if it's just focusing on something else, or you can use shockwave or even static field to stun your opponents, and then you burst everything down on them. It is devastating, it does a lot of damage, and you can still switch to other elements to gain that survivability you need to kite your opponent. I felt that the Elementalist lacked on mobility, so to even that out I made sure my elite skills got up with that. As a heal I chose Glyph of the Elemental Harmony. This heals yourself and also gives you a boon based on your attunement, so if you're in fire and you can use heal, you're gonna get a damage boost. Other heals weren't as great. You can get a healing pulse every few seconds, your spells heal you, but it doesn't do enough. And there's also a long cooldown heal of 40 seconds. It heals you more, but if you can use that heal that I'm using, you can use it twice in those 40 seconds, which will eventually heal you more. I think it's a lot better in PvP, and it's going to get you out of those situations you're going to need that heal. It's important to heal yourself. To help you heal, I've also chosen Mist Form. It is a morph that makes you invulnerable for a few seconds. You can use heal during that morph. It's very useful to have an invulnerable skill. You're invulnerable to everything. You're going to want to use that to prevent damage, then rather use it when you're low so you can get out of those situations. To get out of tight situations, I made sure to pick Lightning Flash. It teleports you to a target area. You can use this to position, which is very important as an Elementalist. Now as the Elementalist elite skill, I choose the Tornado. It shapeshifts you literally into a tornado, so you can throw and launch your opponents around. It gives you an extra survivability edge. People are going to be scared of you, they're going to run away of you, while normally they want to chase the Elementalist, they want to hunt you down. And last but not least, I chose Signet of Fire, which improves your critical chance and actively burns your foe. Why did I do this? Well, it's an extra damage output, it's a very useful one. I like to use fire, it's going to be your main DPS output, so I'm going to want to be running with that. Of course, you can trade this skill for anything else. If you feel like you want another element, or you want some more survivability, you want to conjure something for something else, or even the arcane skills are very good. You can gain a shield, you can do a blast for extra damage or extra burst damage. But I chose the skill of fire because you're going to be in fire a lot while you're doing damage. What's so different about the Elementalist traits is that it's actually based on your skills and it's based on your attunements. While other classes is more stat based, it doesn't really matter what you pick, you're going to want to go for the stats. While as a trait, you can also a little bit take a look at which attunement I'm going to use the most. In my case, that's fire. This is purely personal preference. I choose fire because I can burst down my opponents a lot more quickly than if I would say go in earth. This is a purely PvP based build for me. If you spec into a certain attunement, like for example air, that doesn't mean that you have to, it only benefits your air skills. It's going to give you a buff that you can use for everything. You can choose a certain rune in those talents which is going to benefit the most to your playstyle. As for my fire traits, I purely chose my traits based on the skills that I'm going to use in fire. It's going to benefit my fire spells a lot. While in air, I chose deals 5 more damage while moving. This grants you a passive ability you can use in every element. It benefits you always. In the earth, I chose that I'm going to need a little bit more survivability. If I reach 50% HP, I'm going to get extra armor, I'm going to get that extra survivability I need as an elementalist to get away. In water, you gain some regeneration, you gain some vigor, which is also helps you survivability. It's little, but it's something. And in arcane, it was the best one out there. When you revive an ally, you're going to get a boon. And you're gonna want to help out your teammates a lot. In the arcane, maybe that wasn't the best choice, but as an early one, it was the best one out there. This is purely personal preference. If you want to put more points into air, maybe I will do that even in the future. It all depends on your playstyle. So this was my traits of the Elementalists, and now we're going to take a look at the playstyle. As an Elementalist, you're going to run around a lot. Now there's a keybind that allows you to look backwards. This is very, very useful because you're gonna want to see what's going on behind you while you're running away, while you're kiting. If you can, and since it's a lot of area of effect based skills, you're gonna want to place down that zone right behind you so that if an enemy runs through it, you can turn around and you can burst all your fire skill on them or whatever you want, and it's very useful. Now what they should change, this is only the beta, maybe they haven't implemented it yet. I've also proposed this on the forums, is that they make a camera option so that the camera doesn't chase you, that you have to adjust the camera with your mouse, because right now if you run forward and your camera looks at the back of your at the front of your character but focuses on what's happening behind you, the camera is going to turn around unless you use that bind that allows you to do this, that allows you to run forward but still look back. But it's very annoying to press a bind all the time. It's not a toggle, you have to keep pressing it and still use your other keybinds. This is something you have to get used to, but it would be easier. We're gamers, we're lazy. It would be easy to have something implemented in the game that really focuses on kiting better. Now it's going to give you, it's going to be harder to learn to kite with an Elementalist. It's much harder than a thief, I found, because a thief, you're on the field, you're going to have that sense you want to get into a fight and you can get out of it. You're in your character. But as an Elementalist, your positioning is also important. The kiting, the using certain debuffs at the right time. While as a thief, you're just going to use your poison and you're going to stab your opponent and GG. While as an Elementalist, you have to be much more aware of what's happening around you. And I love this about the Elementalist. I love the thief as well, but the Elementalist has that little edge because it has more skill. It requires more skill of you if you're starting out with it. I hope my rambling here was of help. This video is purely based on my own playstyle. It's based on PvP oriented view on everything. Maybe you have a different one, or maybe you even got another idea of my video. It would be very awesome if you have something to note. You can always leave it in the comments, and I'll respond to you. If you have some questions, I will respond to you. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Next time we'll be taking a look at the thief. If you want to see more of the Elementalist, be sure to check out my raw PvP footage I've recorded in a few battlegrounds, and it will be a showcase on how I actually play the Elementalist. If you just want to see someone play the Elementalist, you want to have a look on what it can do in PvP, be sure to check that out.